March is National Nutrition Month, so there is really no better time to talk about gut health. If you or your child suffer from things like constipation, diarrhea, reflux, or even just constant tummy troubles, there might be something going on with your body and how your brain and your gut are communicating. The gut is super important because it is actually referred to as your second brain. Things like your immunity, your mood, and even your brain function really come from that gut. Everything that your gut is doing is actually directly reflecting how your brain is functioning. So all of the good neurotransmitters in your brain are going to start their journey in the gut. Everything that we are eating is directly affecting our mood and how well our body is functioning. So one of the reasons this is because your vagus nerve is going to essentially help the gut and the brain communicate, and then that vagus nerve is responsible for things like regulating things like your stomach acid and your motility as well as your absorption. So if that vagus nerve is not able to communicate, then we're going to see some issues along the way. So why does this happen? What are some common things that we will see in our office? One of them is going to be reflux. So if you've ever had reflux, you know the burning pain that can cause. Same things with little babies. That is an issue with the stomach acid flowing upward and then that lower esophageal sphincter not closing properly. And so when that happens, it truly, again, is a communication problem between the gut and the brain. So the body should tell the brain, hey, I need you to close. There's food coming down. And then the brain should send the proper signals to do what the body is saying. If there's a lag time in that communication, if there's if you kind of think of like a highway, if there's traffic along the highway of that communication and things are bumper to bumper, you're not going to be getting that communication clearly, and then it's not going to be able to work as fast as it should in the body. So that's one of the things that we'll see commonly. Another is constipation, which is going to be basically slow or blocked gut motility. So when you have constipation, obviously our bowels are not moving food through the way that they should. It's not with ease, and you're going to end up feeling very sick from having all of the toxins that should be exiting your body staying with inside. And then often we will see colic, bloating, and gas, which is going to basically be an imbalance of bacteria and then a lot of inflammation. And so these are the common things we will see why digestive issues happen. And unfortunately, it is really, really common. We talk a lot with our patients about how ideally you should be going to the bathroom within 30 minutes of waking and having a bowel movement in those 30 minutes, and hopefully having about 3 a day. So if you or your kids are not having good bowel function, or you feel like you're just constantly bloated, you eat food and it just irritates your stomach right away, there are a few things that are going to help that. So chiropractic, of course, is number one. We know that chiropractic is going to, one, reduce inflammation. It's taking that stress out of that nervous system. And when I say stress, if you think of that traffic analogy again, in your highway of your brain to anywhere else in your body, getting adjusted is going to remove those subluxations or the stress or the traffic of that highway so that your body can tell the brain what needs to be done. The brain can send the signal so your body can do that. And it's clear flowing. Everyone's going the right speed. There's no accidents. Just kind of all of our dream here in Florida to drive on a nice road like that. But that is what you want your body to do. You really want clear communication back and forth between the brain and anything else in our body. So chiropractic care is going to be the number one thing. We know that it's going to regulate all of our gut motility, our function of how well our body is able to digest and absorb nutrients as well. So there's a lot of things that go on with that. Once we can eliminate that stress from our GI system, that nervous system again is the umbrella. Our digestive system is underneath that umbrella, and how that digestive system is working is really going to be impacted by if that nervous system is stuck in a state of fight or flight where it's not focused on your gut at all. It's focused on sending blood to your muscles to run, versus if your body is in a nice relaxed state, digestion is one of its number one priorities. So your body is going to be sending all of its blood flow, all of its priorities to the GI system to get food moving, to absorb your nutrients, and to have proper, good, regulated bowel movements. So secondly, you can really work on what you're putting into your body. So nutritionally, what you are supporting your body with. Of course, that is going to mean a lot of fiber, a lot of prebiotics, and a lot of probiotics. So what we are eating is going to, of course, directly affect our gut motility, our mood, and our brain function. And so when we eat the right types of foods, we're really providing our body with what it needs. And conversely, if we're eating the wrong types of foods, we are going to stall the body, we're going to cause inflammation, we're going to cause some of that buildup on the highway, some traffic accidents, and then we're going to be left with all of these issues. So avoiding things like processed foods, avoiding artificial sweeteners or additives, avoiding even normal sugar. Also avoiding foods that bother you. So a lot of people think that just because a food is healthy, that they can have a lot of it or eat it every day. But just because a food is deemed healthy does not mean it's healthy for you. A lot of people do have food sensitivities, and so if you eat those sensitivities, even if it's something that's healthy like garlic or almonds, you can be causing a lot of disruption in your gut and in the flora, as well as the motility of your GI system. So just because a food is deemed healthy or is normally healthy for anybody else, if you know that you have an issue with food, or as a child you did, then you may not be able to have that food without causing a problem. A lot of people will often say, well, as a child I was lactose intolerant, but now I'm fine and I outgrew that. That's typically not the case. If you had an issue with dairy at some point, your body doesn't typically just learn how to overcome some of those additives that are in dairy or the proteins in dairy. And so a lot of people think just because a food is good for you means that it is good for them. And unfortunately, you still don't really grow up and learn how to accommodate some of those foods if you had an issue at some point. So there are lots of things we can do to heal our gut if we've had really bad digestive issues in the past. But chiropractic is always the first place to start. We are happy to kind of help along the journey of your GI system, of your child's nutrition, of all of the things that bring you into our office. But if you're listening to this video and thinking, wow, my child does have constipation, wow, it's backing them up, and I can see that their mood is really affected by that, call our office today to schedule. There really is so much promise and just potential for them once this sort of digestive issue can be cleared up.